Hey Aaron, how's it going? Puerto Rico. Yeah, Western Vale. That's a cool target. I'm expecting clouds later tonight, so we'll see what happens. I'm actually live stacking this thing too. If I can find my sharp cap session, what do I do with it? There it is. You guys hear me okay? Just checking here. And this is a live stack, and I'm actually zoomed in a little bit, so that's the actual field of view. Thanks, Tim. So I have the 8-inch Edge HD with the reducer, so that puts me at 1422 for the focal length. Yeah, if I take the reducer off, it's 2032 millimeters. But then I also go to f10 from f7 with the reducer, so it slows it down. But I mean, you can go a lot more, right? This is the 8-inch. They got the 11, and then even the 14. I can't even imagine trying to line up a 14-inch on something. I'm sure that's a whole nother ball game. Yeah, the bubble's cool. Looks like I might be clear tomorrow again, so M2, yep. All this stuff is cool, man. It's always fun. Pickering's Triangle, yep, more of the Vale area. That's one of my favorites. There's so many favorites, but that's a cool region of the sky. Wow, 14 hours. You're putting in the time. Oh, the infamous squid. Good luck with that. Do you have enough data that you're starting to see it yet? Yeah, it does take a lot, Steve. Absolutely. Especially at that F ratio. I know I shot it, I think I got 6 hours on it, but I was using my Hyperstar, which was f2.1, and I was actually able to see it pretty well. Needs a lot more data, like you were saying too, but I was surprised in that short amount of time through the Hyperstar that it popped out. Do you think the 585 Pro is a good match for the Rasa 11? Honestly, don't know. I'd have to look at the calculator and see how it pairs up. Yep, all good targets. Although, what's the moon? Is it still up? I think it is. So I might just stick. Yeah, we're 50% illuminated, so the moon's 7 days old. It's going down at 11:30, so another hour. I was just thinking about whether or not broadband would be a good target for it tonight, but the moon's dropping below the horizon here in about an hour, so it'd probably be doable. The next dome's been working well since my last fiasco with the controller, and I basically had to ground everything in there, including pounding an 8 foot ground rod next to the observatory to make sure to keep all the static out of it. That was our best guess the last time it failed on me, but it's been running well since. I still if I can go back and do it again, I wouldn't have done it obviously, but fingers crossed. Hey, Kyrick. I thought I was going to have some issues tonight because as soon as I started imaging, somebody down the road was lighting off some fireworks for whatever reason. We're nowhere close to the 4th of July anymore, but they were celebrating something. But it was short lived, so got lucky. Oh yeah, our sky shed isn't that the one where the instead of having a shutter that rolls back like mine, it actually kind of like folds open forward or something. I think I saw that a few months ago. But yeah, I hear you. So many toys and so little cash. I tell you though, I really do wish I just would have built a roll-off roof because I could have had the red cat out there. I have a solar scope that I could have set up. I could have had everything all in the one observatory, right? And be able just to roll the roof back and use whatever I want. So when I want to use the red cat, I'm back to setting up in the yard, which is fine, but it would just been nice to have everything housed. Oh, I'll have to check that out, Steve. See what they got. Not that I'm gonna buy one, but just curious. I'm assuming they're probably a lot better company than Nextdome is. Wish I would have done lot more homework before I purchased it. I did do some research and I saw that they had issues, but then I also saw they redesigned a lot of things, so I figured they listened to their customers and got everything worked out, and that wasn't the case. Live and learn, right? Yeah, roll off is the way to go. I mean, I don't know anything about Skyshed. You know, maybe they're a lot better design, hopefully a lot better customer support than I had with Nextdome. But if anybody ever asked me if I recommend Nextdome, I definitely would say no. I mean, I guess it can be less expensive than a roll off depending on what you're looking at for a roll off, but it's not worth the aggravation. And yeah, luckily I was able to fix it myself, but it wasn't. I had some help from a couple people online too. The city said no. They wouldn't let you. So it was the city? It wasn't like an HOA or anything like that? The actual city told you you couldn't build something like that? That's crazy, man. That's good to hear about Skyshed. I think if, because I know I was looking at them as an option, but at the time, I don't believe that they had any kind of automated shutter solution. It was just like the half dome that you opened up manually and rolled around. I can't remember. I liked the way the next dome looked and operated, and I got sucked in. Oh, jeez. Yeah, absolutely, Phil. You know, I had a condo, so I had an HOA, God, 20 years ago. And in the beginning it wasn't bad, but towards the end I had nothing but problems with those guys over a portable basketball hoop of all things. It's just I just can't wrap my mind around owning a house and property and having a whole nother set of rules that I have to follow. It's just I'll never do that again. Oh yeah, I'm sure you do. So why did this, Steve? Why did the city tell you that you couldn't build it? I meant to do it today, but I need to download the beta version of Nina because they have live stacking built into it now, which would be super cool. That's just crazy. I don't, it's. I'm Yeah, I just found out myself actually. Chuck's astrophotography channel, he was live streaming the other night and he had it running. I didn't even know it was there until last week when I was in one of his live streams. I'm gonna step away for a minute, guys. I'll be right back. Oh yeah, I love Nina too. I haven't even had a chance to play with an ASI Air. I mean, some of my friends have them and stuff. I've seen them in action. I prefer Nina. I mean, and if I decide I want to use something else like Sharp Cap or astrophotography tool, I have that option. I don't want to feel locked in, but I probably should at least get one of the ASI Air boxes just to play with it one time. But yeah, it controls my observatory as well. I see you doing the Messier challenge, I suppose, huh? That's awesome, Aaron. Those smart scopes are pretty cool. Is that all you have, Aaron? Is the Sea Star, or do you have like a traditional setup as well? I have a friend that comes over and shoots here in the backyard with me sometimes, and I think she has the mini and then uh, one of the higher up versions, I guess, and I can't remember which one it is. She constantly has problems getting connected on my Wi-Fi with one of them, but the other one's like instantaneous all the time. It's weird. Could be my Wi-Fi too, but so your wife, she's into the hobby with you too. That's pretty cool. I always joke with my wife and tell her that I'm going to buy her her own setup, and she just shakes her head at me and walks away. But I get the kids out with me every once in a while, so they're not crazy interested. They're just kind of curious. Maybe someday. I know my friend Naz from Nastronomy on YouTube. He's off to Bortle 3 skies this weekend. So hopefully he'll come back with some really nice images. Hey Otto. Yep, that's about 55 minutes right now. I'm live stacking it as well. That's awesome, Phil. So your kids are the one that sent you down the rabbit hole, huh? Awesome, Steve. Yeah, I love. I got down the street here. Was a younger couple. They have a couple young kids, and we'll get them over here sometimes. And I'll take the camera off and put the eyepiece on them, let them look at the moon, and kind of scan around the sky. And it's just so cool seeing the kids get excited about this stuff. Yeah, it is. I mean, that rabbit hole. I remember when I started. It was a friend of mine. Him and I were just goofing around. I had one of those hobby killer telescopes, right? Had it for years. It's good to look at the moon with, and that's about it. And we were holding my cell phone up to the eyepiece and finally got a picture of the moon. And then I found you can buy a cell phone holder to strap on the back of that. And then that started it for me. Took our DSLR and our mirrorless cameras outside just on a tripod and started seeing. I think it was the Orion was like one of the first things we tried to image. And we started to see it, and then that was it, man. Bought the Star Tracker, and then I got the Red Cat, and then I upgraded to the camera and the new mount. It just doesn't stop. Oh yeah, Saturn. I tell you, man, it's cool to get a picture of that. It's cool to get a picture of anything, right? But anything that you can see through the eyepiece with your own eyes is it's a whole different experience. And yeah, it's super cool. Wondering if you can live stack with the air and change filters and keep integrating. Um, I mean maybe, right? Because it's looking at the stars. So as long as it can match up the stars, I would think that it could, but I don't know what that would look like either. Give it a try. Let us know. Yeah, I mean, isn't that amazing that you can do this stuff with your cell phones nowadays? Right? It may not be the greatest quality. I get it, but and there's a lot of people that actually get upset about smartphones and smart telescopes, and it's like whatever. Take a breath. People are playing, experimenting, having fun. I guess the other thing too, if you're gonna swap a filter during a live stack, you may be slightly out of focus, assuming the filters that you'll be swapping out aren't parfocal. But maybe you wouldn't even notice either if it's just a little bit off. Oh yeah, I mean, I've seen people. I have friends that have taken pictures of the Milky Way core with their cell phone. Yeah, that's cool stuff, man. Be able to pull something out of your pocket and take a picture of something like that. It's just mind-boggling. You're gonna have fun, Otto. That's like I said, the Sea Stars, the Dwarf 3, those smart scopes, they're all great and they have their place. But once you get into a more traditional setup, it's a whole different ball game. You're gonna have a lot of fun with it. And, and to be honest, if those things were around when I started getting into the hobby, I probably would have started with a Sea Star or a Dwarf. It's just a nice, relatively inexpensive way of seeing if you'd actually get into the hobby, right? Instead of spending all that money up front first. Did you guys see NASA's new script that he released today? It's an OSC pre-processing script that not only can do the stacking for you for like a single image or not a single image for a single session, but it'll do multi-night, it'll do mosaics. He's really for a version 1 script, it's pretty cool. You don't need to use the traditional Siril scripts to stack, even if it's just for one night now, which is nice. Yeah, it'll do everything. It'll work for the smart scopes as well as a traditional setup. He's really put a lot of work into it. It's kind of a spin-off off. I mean, he started with a script for the smart scopes for the Sea Stars and the Dwarf and everything, but this is more. I mean, what's cool about it is, right now, like I've got my beginner videos for Siril, and they require your calibration frames, right? And there's always a lot of people that say that they don't have the calibration frames, they just want to stack just the light frames, or maybe they just have darks and that's it. So there's a separate script for each one of those scenarios. NASA's script works like Cyrillic in a sense that just give it what you have. If you just have lights, then it'll just stack the lights. If you just have lights and darks, it'll just stack the lights and calibrate them with the darks for you. So it's really cool. Yeah, it's super cool. Like I said, Nastronomy. I don't know if you guys follow him or not, but if you don't, check out his channel. I'll type the channel name in here. I don't know if I can actually put a link in here. Nastronomy. I believe that's how he spells it. It's like astronomy, but with Nas. But yeah, so search him up on YouTube if you don't already follow him, and check out the script. It's pretty cool. It's been approved in the repository for Siril, but I don't know why they actually haven't merged the script yet. But it will. Right now, you have to download it from NASA's site, but hopefully sometime next week it'll actually be merged into Siril, so it'll be in the Git scripts. Yeah, he's real good. Super smart guy. I met him online during the eclipse because I was just trying to wrap my head around how I was going to image that thing. And I reached out to him, and we've become pretty good friends ever since. He's my solar, planetary, lunar go-to guy. If I have any questions about sharp cap and fire capture, and he's been in the game for God years. Yep, auto. I mean, Cyril's not that bad. If you haven't seen it already, I have a beginner's tutorial, even for the latest version. It's in beta right now. If you haven't seen it, start with that. It's basic. It doesn't get deep in the weeds with everything. It just shows you how to stack and do some basic processing to get you a pretty good end result image. And then I try to break out each of the other functions as they're coming out and some of the new Python scripts. But we'll always hear. I've got the Discord channel too. Myself as well as others that are in there will help you out if you have any questions. And yeah, Aaron Naz he's a great guy, man. He loves to get in there and help people. I like hearing that. I love hearing that, Phil. Thanks. I do. I enjoy teaching people. Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. As long as the clouds stay awaits, and I'll try and do a Hubble palette with this Bubble Nebula using that new script that I covered. That's what's cool too is that we've got these Python developers coming on board now, and they're putting out some really cool tools for everybody. This is really what Siril needed to give him that big boost to be taken more seriously, right? I know there's still people that you know say Pix and Sight is king, and I suppose it is to some degree, but it doesn't mean that Cyril's not capable. I actually own a copy of Pix and Sight, but I don't use it. Once in a while, I might get in there and play around with it, but I use Cyril mainly because of the channel, right? I don't want to. I want to stay. I want to stay as sharp as I can with Cyril. And if I'm using Pix and Sight all the time, and then trying to make videos for Cyril, I don't know. I just feel like the quality of the videos will probably start dropping if I'm not using them daily myself. But in the next major version, not this one they're working on now, so we're on 1.4 and 1.6. The version numbers are weird how they work. So the even numbers are the official releases. So we're on 1.4, and then you'll start hearing them talk about 1.5, but that's actually development versioning. So we'll never see a 1.5, but 1.5 is what's being worked on and will be released as 1.6. So last I was talking with them, 1.6, we're actually going to have masking capabilities, which is just another huge, huge function that we're missing that we need. Hey, Space Rocks, how's it going, man? Haven't talked to you for a while. Good to see you. And yes, Siril does stack way faster. And honestly, I'm not even sure why. I mean, part of me thinks it's just code optimization. Um, and I think that probably is a part of it, not the entire reason why Pix and Sight is so slow when it's stacking. But I'm sure it's doing more things, maybe more thoroughly, but I don't know. It's I mean it's not just a few minutes longer. It's hours, and then Pix and Site will stack the same amount of data in just a few minutes. It's crazy. Starlink trails. Are you actually seeing a train tonight? Oh, you've never seen a Starlink train? It's surreal. I remember the first time I saw one, I knew what it was because I had seen pictures online, but I was it, it was when I was just starting with the hobby. I had my camera out on the tripod and I was lining up whatever it was I was trying to shoot, and I saw him come across the sky, and I ran in the house and yelled for the family to come out. They were freaking out because they didn't know what was going on. And when they came outside, like, "Oh my God, what is that? What is that?" I'd explain it to them. It was funny, and I can understand people think aliens, right? If you've never seen it and you're not familiar with it, it can be a little concerning, I suppose. Yeah, same here, man. It's been like constant clouds. I mean, I think everybody's experiencing the same thing this year. It's even the end of last year. I mean, just seems like it's just haven't hasn't been a good past year. And then I have my solar scope that I bought a solar quest mount for it just to make it easier to track. And then I 3D printed a mount so I can put an autofocus around it, so I can just set it up outside and then come in the office and be able to focus it, without the sun beating on the screen and I can't see anything. And of course, once I get all that built and put together, I'm dealing with clouds during the day. So all right, let's take a look at Aaron's image here. Yeah, very nice. Such a cool structure. Especially this piece here. It always looks like an alien face. And you can, like, this is the neck and the back coming over. I don't know. It's crazy. Nice job, though, man. That looks really good. I'll give you a sub, too, while I was over there. They are the rules, right? Unfortunately. So, Steve, with your trails, are you having problems with the rejection algorithm taking them out, or yeah, sure thing, Aaron. Yeah, Tim, that was my first mount. I had the Star Adventurer as well, right? Just a tracker. You had a plate solve and get that thing pointed yourself. What I actually did was I found a camera mount that I mounted to a bar and attached it to the dovetail of the camera, and it would shoot off to the right side, came out about 10 inches, and I made sure that it was perfectly square and lined up with, squared and lined, squared and plumb, I guess you would say, with the scope. And then I put my cell phone in there and put Stellarium on there, and I would use that to slew around manually and get whatever I wanted to take an image of on the phone, lock it down, take a picture, plate solve it, make sure, and I don't know, 7 times out of 10, it was in the field of view that way. It was fun, but then it got boring. It got rough afterwards, and that's when I went to the what mount did I get next? I think I went and I got the EQ6. I got the big mount knowing I was going to get a big scope eventually. But then I did end up with the GTI back here. I don't know if you guys can see it, which is like a step up from the Star Adventurer. And that's a go-to mount. Yeah, sure thing, JW. I'm glad the videos are helping you guys. No, I haven't looked into any of the Chinese mounts. The I'm assuming you're talking about like the off-brand type mounts. I know Quiv the Lazy Geek just picked up one for like $500 or sub $500. He just put a video out about it. Yeah, it is, Tim, but you know, if that's all you can do, that's all you can do, right? It's part of the fun. It's also the rabbit hole. Oh yeah, without plate solving, forget it, man. I mean, for me anyways, I know those guys out there that can star hop and they can tell where they're looking at and where they need to point their scope at just by looking at the sky, but that's not me. Yeah, the culling video, Tim, that's pretty funny because one of the developers had sent me an email and asked me to put that video out because people were looking at like SETI Astro and PixInsight with the whole blinking utilities they have and everything, and sending requests into the developers for something like that to call data. And so he's like, "You got to do a video on this." He goes, "Show everybody that we've been able to do this for years." So that's how that video came to be. I wasn't even planning on doing anything like that, but it ended up being it was a good video. I didn't realize that there was so many people out there that didn't know that that capability was there. The video cam, no, that's not Wise. It's Tapo, Tapo. Wise. Last I looked into it, you can't do an RTSP stream with it. They had some custom firmware that was if you wanted to download and flash your camera at some point in time, they let you do that so you can have that stream. But then they yanked it, and there's workarounds. You can put up an RTSP server so you can feed the camera through that, and then that server can be accessed through Nina. But then there was like a subscription for that software, and I ditched the Wisecam. I bought these, and I love them. They're awesome. There's no monthly fee or anything, unless you want cloud storage or additional clouds. Yeah, no. If you want cloud storage, you got to pay for it. I have memory cards in them, so it just writes the videos to the memory card, and I can pull them if I need them. Yeah. It was an AM3 clone, right? It was. I think he said it was the version he had was plastic for the most part, but you could get a aluminum casted one too as well. Yeah, now they got the AM3N out, right? Which is just like the AM5N that I have. And probably the biggest improvement is you have the USB and power on the saddle, so it passes through your deck, so you can just plug things in right to that, which is really nice. I don't think it's anything if you have an AM3 or even an original AM5 that you run out and you buy the N. Yeah, I don't think it's worth replacing it, but it's when I do. I've noticed when I do. I'm glad the manual video helped you, and I'm gonna keep doing stuff like that. But I've noticed with the manual processing and even the mono processing, I borrowed some data from another friend of mine, Doug Astro AF on YouTube, and those videos usually don't perform as well. Understandably, I mean, I started the channel with a Canon M50, right? So I mean, I was always doing one shot color. Still am. Like I said, I just got a mono set up. I've only used it once so far, but now that I have the Red Cat converted to mono, I'll probably end up buying the Tube Tech stuff because it's a good price. It's under $1,000, and I have everything that I need for now, just so I can play with it. So I'll probably be doing more videos for the mono stuff and manual. But yeah, and I'm always learning stuff too. I mean, I'll do a video and I'll look back at one of my videos from 2 years ago and I'm like, holy crap, why did I do it that way? I mean, things change, right? Software changes, tech changes, our processes and workflow change. I feel like I can brighten that up a little bit more. No, I haven't done any videos for the offset, but Quiv the Lazy Geek has, and it's he's very thorough. If you need something to follow along with, yeah, like I said, I mean the Tube Tech 585 with a filter wheel, and I have the 1.25 filter, so L, RGB, SH, and O, and I only used it once just for LRGB, and it came out good. I was surprised I had no problems. Everything worked for me the first time out. So hopefully tomorrow I'm gonna try, and I think I'm gonna try and image the Cygnus wall and SHO. Just That'll be my first time shooting mono SHO. So I'm excited about it. Looking forward to it. It's something I've been wanting to get into for a while, and just haven't made that leap yet. Yeah, clouds ruin the night once again, huh? Well, at least you got some good time in on it, right? Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, even if we take a look, I mean, that's a single 5-minute sub right there. Have the L Extreme filter in tonight. I do need to upgrade this to the beta version so I can just do the live stacking within Nina. So I don't have to jump back and forth between Nina and SharpCap. Oh, I got 3 hours before Meridian. Okay. So what's everybody think about the alien spaceship that's heading towards Earth? And what cracks me up is everybody that believes it. It's because it was the professor from Harvard, right? But from what I was looking the guy up, and I think this is the third time that he has said something like this. And go figure, he has a book that he's trying to sell as well, from what people were saying. So I think he's just pushing his own agenda just to make some money. Absolutely. I don't know which one's worse. Face suckers or the probing kind. Yeah, Naz actually works at Harvard, so I should talk to him about this guy. I don't know if he probably doesn't know. Maybe he does. I don't know. Yeah, it is pretty smart. They made it look like a rock, but they didn't fool all of us, right? The guys at Harvard know that it's a spaceship, or at least one of them. Tim. Hey, it's all a simulation, anyways. Yeah, Steven, that that's my concern, right? I mean, the tube tech setup that I have is on my Red Cat. I'll probably throw it on the 8 inch just to play with it too. But if ever I put the 8 inch into a permanent mono setup, I'm thinking I want to go with a 571 chip, which is what I run right now with the Poseidon C. But it's like, how do I, without buying more filters, how do I determine even the filters I have from TubeTech, whether there are better versions of that? I just, there's so much to learn and experiment with. And as you know, man, those filters, they are not cheap. I mean, hell, even the filters I bought for the color camera, I think the most expensive one I have is the IDAS, was it NBZ2? That was like a $320 filter. I sweat every time I'm taking it out of the case. I'm afraid I'm going to drop it. Ace, thanks for stopping by, man. Good seeing you. Yeah, simulation theory. uh, I don't know. It's fun. I enjoy listening and considering things like that, but I don't know. JW, was that a question for me? I'm on my 8 inch Edge HD with a reducer that's running F7. If that question was for me. Yeah, no, I have a Hyperstar, but it's not in tonight. Camera's on the back of the scope behind the 0.7x reducer. Yeah, sure thing. I do love that Hyperstar though. That thing's a cheat code, man. When I bought that, the first time I put it on, I was having so much fun with it. I still do. Hey, Brody. No, not the sulfur oxygen filters. I don't have any. Just HA and O3. I did see Lusa from Space Koala. She got a hold of the new L Synergy filter from Optolong that does S2 and O3, and it's meant to be used along with like an L Extreme filter, right? So you get your HA and O3 from the L Extreme, and then you pop the L Synergy in and get your sulfur and O3 and combine everything together. She posted an image that she composited together with those two. It looked pretty cool. But there's no they weren't able to tell her how much the filter was going to be yet. I guess it hasn't been released. She got like an early copy of it. I'm sure it's not going to be cheap. Yeah, I mean, I would expect it. Yeah, probably 300. I would expect it to come in around what's the L Ultimate running nowadays? Wasn't that the let's see here. Wasn't the L Ultimate the latest HAO3 filter that they had? So yeah, 309. I would expect it to come in around, yeah, 310 probably, which is stupid expensive, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I think that's the problem too with S2 and HA is it's all the red channel stuff. So, excuse me, Siril has the extract command for that, but it's pulling the red channel, so it's not necessarily breaking up. You know, it doesn't know the difference between the two. I don't know that it could. I guess I guess if you're shooting with a sulfur filter, you could probably still run the extract HA, and then you just have to combine it as your sulfur in the red channel, then use your hydrogen in your green, maybe. Yeah, that's my guiding at the bottom. Yeah, probably more red. It's and I think that's where we get into probably got to use more pixel math than just assigning the data to channels. The pixel math would give you more control. I wonder if that new script. I wonder how the new script would handle that if you gave it data that came out of an S2 filter, an S2O3 filter. Oh, who jinxed me about my guiding? It's starting to climb now. I wonder if the clouds are coming in. I'm gonna run outside and take a quick look. I'll be right back. Nope, no clouds. Nothing I can see, anyways. Maybe there's some thin, high ones that are messing with my guiding, but long as the stars stay nice and round, I'm not gonna sweat it too much. Yeah. The Sky Tesla. Yeah. The moon should be well out of the way now. So, Tim, can Cyril extract S2? Not specifically, but I believe you can use the extract HA function to do that. Again, it's just pulling the data from the red channel when it does that, I believe. So it's so close, you can't really. I was talking to one of the developers about this before too. There's no for one shot color data. There's no way to determine what's sulfur two and what's hydrogen alpha. So it's all just basically what's in the red channel. But I'm thinking if the data that you are extracting, even though the command is extract HA, was shot behind a dual narrowband that's doing sulfur and oxygen 3, that you could probably do the same thing and it would be still be the red channel, right? But it's sulfur. I don't know. It's again, I don't have a filter to play with it, so I'm kind of just spitballing. It is a cool object to shoot. And then you got the what do they call it? The soap bubble that's over around the Crescent Nebula. It's not as pronounced as this one, but it still just amazes me what some of these things look like. It still looks like I got a small little set of clouds that may roll in here in about 2 hours, probably. That's okay. Yeah, thanks, Planetary. Well, blood, sweat, and tears. Anybody that knows the pain that I went through with that observatory knows exactly what I'm talking about. But it is a cool setup. A lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. Once I got over all the pain points. But I think I'm going to be wrapping it up here in a few minutes, guys. And maybe by the time I do my next live stream, I'll have the beta version of Nina going. We can check out the new live stacking feature inside of it. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, as long as the clouds stay away, although I think there's a patch of high thin clouds coming through here in a couple hours, but I'll I'll see in the morning. If I get a good night, good 6 hours or so of data, I should have something posted tomorrow morning, early afternoon. But hey, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, man. This is fun. I was bored tonight. That's why it was like another last minute live stream, right? I can never schedule them. I just fire it up because I got nothing else going on. You should be sleeping before you go to work, man. Yeah, this is cool. Maybe I'll have to do more of these things. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy talking with you guys. All right, y'all have a good night. We'll see you next time. We're just getting ready to wrap it off, Cheap Astro. Wrap it up. I need to try to plan these more instead of just throwing them out last minute so everybody knows they're coming. You guys have a good night. Thanks again for joining. I really did have a good time chatting with everybody.